Chapter 34, Nemesis's Collapse. The days following the destruction of Origin were a blur of cautious relief and simmering tension. Nemesis had been dealt a critical blow, but the team knew better than to celebrate prematurely. Their victories had always come at a cost, and this time was no different. The air in the safe house was thick with unspoken fears and the lingering scent of burned coffee, a reminder of long nights spent sifting through the remnants of Nemesis's shattered network. Michael sat at the dining table, his hands steepled as he studied the array of maps, schematics, and intercepted communications spread before him. The weight of leadership pressed heavily on his shoulders, his mind racing through contingency plans. He knew they had struck at Nemesis's heart, but even a wounded enemy could lash out. The thought of how they would retaliate gnawed at him. Every move Nemesis made felt like a ripple on the surface, but he knew there was an undertow waiting to pull them under. Gabriel entered the room, a half-eaten protein bar in hand. He leaned against the doorframe, watching Michael in silence before speaking. "You've been staring at that map for hours. Looking for something we missed?" Michael didn't look up. "I'm looking for what comes next. Nemesis isn't dead, not completely. They'll regroup. They always do." Gabriel's expression hardened. "Then we hit them again, and again, until there's nothing left to regroup." Michael finally met his brother's gaze. "It's not that simple. They've gone dark, scattering to places we can't see. We need to flush them out. And this time, we're not going to let them rebuild." Gabriel smirked faintly. "So what's the plan? Shake the tree and see what falls out?" Before Michael could respond, Samira entered the room, her laptop balanced on one arm. "We might not need to shake anything," she said, setting the device on the table. She swept her hair back, revealing tired eyes that mirrored the strain they all felt. "I've been monitoring residual activity from their network. There's a cluster of communications originating from an urban hub about 200 miles from here. It's faint, but it's there." Anderson appeared in the doorway, his arms crossed. "An urban hub? Sounds like a trap." Samira shrugged. "Maybe, or maybe it's desperation. Either way, it's our only lead." Michael stood, his resolve hardening. "We follow it. If they're desperate, that's an advantage we can exploit. But we stay cautious." The urban hub was a sprawling maze of concrete and steel, its streets bustling with the chaotic rhythm of city life. Neon lights reflected off puddles left by a recent rain, and the hum of machinery blended with the distant wail of sirens. The team arrived under the cover of night, their van blending seamlessly with the steady flow of traffic. Samira guided them through the streets, her tablet tracking the faint signals that had drawn them here. "It's coming from an old industrial building," she said, her voice steady. "4th floor. I'm picking up at least 3 active devices broadcasting on Nemesis frequencies." Michael parked the van in an alley a block away, turning to address the team. "Same approach as always. Samira, you monitor from the van. Gabriel, Anderson, you're with me. We go in quiet, but be ready for anything." Gabriel grinned, adjusting the strap on his rifle. "Quiet's my specialty." Anderson smirked faintly. "Sure it is." The industrial building was a shadow of its former self, its cracked windows and rusted walls a testament to years of neglect. The team entered through a side door, their footsteps muffled by layers of dust and debris. The air inside was stale, heavy with the scent of oil and mildew. Broken machinery and forgotten crates formed a gauntlet of shadows and obstacles. Samira's voice crackled softly over their comms. "You're clear so far. The signal's strong. 4th floor, southeast corner." Michael led the way, his weapon raised as they ascended the creaking staircase. Each step felt louder than it should, the groan of old wood and metal amplifying their tension. Gabriel glanced up, scanning for any signs of movement above them. When they reached the 4th floor, they moved in formation, their movements precise and silent. The southeast corner was a makeshift command center. Tables were littered with laptops, hard drives, and scattered documents. A single figure sat at the center of it all, their back turned to the team as they worked on a glowing terminal. The dim light cast long shadows, making the room feel even smaller than it was. Michael signaled for Gabriel and Anderson to flank the room. He stepped forward, his weapon trained on the figure. "Don't move." The figure froze but didn't turn. "You're too late," they said, their voice calm. "Nemesis isn't just a network, it's an idea. You can't kill an idea." Michael tightened his grip. "Turn around, slowly." The figure complied, swiveling in their chair to reveal a man in his late 30s. His expression was calm, almost serene, but his eyes burned with defiance. "You think you've won? You've only delayed the inevitable. Nemesis will rise again." Gabriel stepped closer, his rifle trained on the man's chest. "Not if we bury it this time." The man smirked. "You don't even know what you're fighting against. Nemesis isn't a group, it's a necessity." Michael ignored his words, motioning for Samira over the comms. "We've got a prisoner. Get ready to scrub the data." Samira's response was immediate. "On it. Copying everything now." Anderson secured the man, binding his hands while Gabriel swept the room for any hidden surprises. Michael turned his attention to the documents scattered across the table, his eyes narrowing as he recognized the Nemesis insignia stamped on several files. "This isn't just a cell," he muttered. "This was a coordination point." Gabriel glanced at him. "Coordination for what?" Michael held up a folder, its contents spilling onto the table. Maps, blueprints, and schematics detailed a sprawling facility labeled Phoenix. Every page was a window into a larger plan, one more insidious than they had imagined. Samira's voice crackled over the comms. "I've got it. Everything they had is ours now." Michael's gaze hardened. "Then we move fast. Whatever Phoenix is, it's their next play, and we're going to stop it." Back at the safe house, the atmosphere was charged with a mix of urgency and exhaustion. Samira worked through the night, decrypting the data they had recovered. The soft glow of her screen illuminated her determined expression as she pieced together the remnants of Nemesis's plans. Gabriel and Anderson prepared their gear, their banter subdued but familiar. Each weapon they checked was a reminder of the battle still ahead. Michael stood by the window, his thoughts racing as he pieced together what they had learned. He stared out at the city lights, his reflection in the glass, a reminder of the weight he carried. When Samira finally spoke, her voice was heavy with the weight of discovery. "Phoenix isn't just a facility, it's a launch point. They're rebuilding faster than we thought. If they finish this, it could undo everything we fought for." Michael's expression darkened, his resolve hardening. "Then we don't give them the chance. We take it out before it rises.